TBS will be introducing a new camera for tonight's Game 3 between the Yankees and the Rays. It's called CB Buckner Vision, and through my contacts in MLB, I was able to get a sneak preview. So I lost a bit of sleep last night. Obviously, I was not happy with the way that last night turned out. I think if you score as many runs as they scored off of Tyler Glasnow, who, let's face it, had unbelievable stuff last night. He was throwing 101 miles an hour. He had a nasty breaking ball. And really, the Yankees had no business scoring 4 runs off of him, but they did, thanks to Giancarlo Stanton coming through in the clutch. Giancarlo Stanton has hit 5 home runs through the first 4 games of this postseason, and it would be nice if he could get a bit of help the rest of this series. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But obviously, this was a game that a lot of people feel is on Aaron Boone, with his curious, to say the least, usage of the starting pitching yesterday. Davey Garcia, just 21 years old, starts in Game 2, pitches 1 inning, and then gets yanked for J-Hap. J-Hap argued that he wanted to just start the game. And it probably would have been a better move to just start him rather than to waste 2 starting pitchers. And now you're forced to go with Jordan Montgomery in Game 4, and that's not a knock on Jordan Montgomery, but he's not the guy that you want going in Game 4. Davey Garcia would have probably pitched better than J-Hap over those next few innings. That's just my hunch, because the Rays hadn't seen him. And he served up a couple of nice soft fly balls early in yesterday's game. He did give up a home run to Randy Arozarena, but Randy Arozarena took Garrett Cole deep in Game 1. Arozarena is red hot right now, and he got a couple more hits in the game. So I feel like it was a mistake to start Davey Garcia and pull him so quickly. But hey, it is what it is. The game is over. The game is in the books. The Yankees have got to turn the page and focus on what they need to do to win Game 3. The Yankees can go a long way towards winning Game 3 by getting a solid start out of Masahiro Tanaka. Now, Masahiro Tanaka entered this postseason with a 1.76 career postseason ERA. He did not pitch well in Game 2 of the wild card round. But I'm not necessarily going to blame Tanaka that much for that, because when he first came out, he actually looked pretty good. But there were bad conditions. It was pouring. It was raining, almost side to side. It was really, really bad. It was windy. The conditions were not good for pitchers. Even Carlos Carrasco had a difficult time. Windy and rainy conditions can be really tough on breaking ball pitchers, because they rely on feel, and they rely on the natural, conditions of the air to move the ball. You're putting spin on the ball, and you're forcing the ball to move. And when you have conditions like that had in Game 2 of the wild card round, it's just really not good for guys who rely on breaking balls and on command. So hopefully better conditions in San Diego will be more conducive to a good outing from Masahiro Tanaka. He will be facing off against Charlie Morton. I'll get to him in a minute, but Charlie Morton is another curveball guy, so conditions should be good for him too. So we could see a pitcher's duel tonight. We'll see. But I feel like Masahiro Tanaka is pretty good under pressure, and he knows that the Yankees need to win tonight. You don't want to fall down 2-1 to the Rays. I don't care how many games you have left in this series. The Rays are going to be deadly if they just need one more victory, because they can piece things together, and they've got such a good bullpen. So tonight's going to be crucial, and I'm going to be nervous all day about it. So let's hope that Masahiro Tanaka can return to his postseason form and pitch really well. I thought that Michael Kay said it best last night after the game when he was evaluating what the Yankees did. They were trying to outsmart the Rays. The Rays invented the opener. The Rays did so because they didn't have any starting pitching. And the Yankees are trying to sort of copy that style, but they didn't need to. There's no reason to go to an opener there. You've got Davey Garcia, who's very capable of going 6 or 7 innings. He went 7 innings multiple times in his 6 starts this year, and he's a guy who didn't seem intimidated. Just the look on his face, he didn't seem like he was nervous at all. Sure, he threw a lot of pitches, but, I feel like Davey Garcia was going to work his way out of it and get more comfortable as he went along. Don't forget, this kid is just 21 years old, And to anybody saying he can come back in Game 4, he might be able to come back in relief, but he can't start and go 7 innings in Game 4. That's not going to happen now, because you throw more than just the pitches that you throw during the game. You have to throw on the side. You have to throw a warm-up bullpen, some long toss, and also there's all the adrenaline and all the stuff that goes into pitching in a big league game. He's going to be sore. So I just feel like the Yankees kind of wasted Davey Garcia in the series by using him the way they did last night. Now, despite how negative I probably sounded in the postgame and how negative this video has been, I'm still kind of optimistic about the Yankees' chances. I don't think Charlie Morton is going to be as tough on the Yankees as he's been in the past. He had an ERA way over 4 this year. He's a curveball guy. He's not a guy who throws 100 miles an hour. The Yankees have been struggling with the hard fastballs up in the zone, Gary Sanchez especially. I really think that Gary Sanchez needs to sit tonight in favor of Kyle Higashioka. We'll see how that works out. But there are some other silver linings. Obviously, Giancarlo Stanton is red hot. He's on fire. 5 home runs in 4 games. DJ LeMahieu had a base hit late in the game tonight. I feel like he's going to be a huge factor. More on him in a minute. I feel like the offense, for the most part, has been pretty good. Aaron Hicks is heating up. He had a base hit last night. He drew a couple of walks. He did have a key fly out late in the game on a first pitch, which is unlike him. He's usually a guy who works the count, but I don't blame him for trying to be aggressive and make something happen right there, because it was a decent pitch to swing at. It was right over the middle of the plate. He just didn't hit it very well. So there are some signs that, things could be okay for the Yankees going forward. And if you do win tonight, then all you need over the final 2 games is a split. And you've got Garrett Cole running back out there, probably in a Game 5, which is something that the Rays cannot say. The Rays may run Blake Snell out there, but they'll probably do a bullpen game. And we saw last night how devastating the Rays bullpen can be. But the further you get into this series, the more those guys work, the less effective they're going to be. So hopefully tonight the Yankees can make a statement, put up some runs early against Charlie Morton, and force the Rays to use that bullpen and really expend some of their bullets that can hurt them later in the series. Games like tonight are when you rely on the guys who've done it for you all year in big spots. And DJ LeMahieu has been a guy who's stepped up and done it very well for the Yankees the last 2 years. Won the undisputed batting title this year. Should have been in MVP contention last year. He finished in 4th. But he's a guy who hasn't been red hot in the postseason. He was red hot near the end of the season. Finished at 364, and I feel like he's getting ready to get hot again. He had that nice base hit up the middle late in the game. That was a big hit, a key hit, and he's a guy who can hit the breaking ball. And Charlie Morton is a guy who relies very much on that breaking ball. DJ LeMahieu's going to know it's coming. He's going to look for it, and he's going to wrap it right up the middle or through the right side. He's going to let it do what it's going to do. He's going to put a late swing on it, and he's just going to drive it wherever it's pitched. So look for DJ LeMahieu to come up big tonight. He's really the catalyst, as so many people have said in this channel. He's the guy who really makes everything go for the Yankees. If he gets on base to begin the game, then all of a sudden you've got to pitch to Aaron Judge. And if Judge gets on, then you've got to pitch to, Voit and Stanton. And Voit needs to step it up, by the way. And if you've got guys on base at the bottom of the order, guys like Sanchez, which, let's face it, that's probably not going to happen. But if you got guys on base at the bottom of the order, he's a guy who can turn that lineup over and create a rally. Charlie Morton is on the mound tonight for the Rays. He's a guy who's pitched well against the Yankees in the past. He's pitched twice against them this year, but he's only thrown 4 innings total. He went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits and 1 run, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 50 pitches against the Yankees on August 9th. That was at the Trop. That was the day after Giancarlo Stanton got hurt. And then on September 2nd at Yankee Stadium, he went 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 36 pitches. The Yankees did do a nice job both times of making him throw pitches. He's a guy who buries that curveball in the dirt. He only gave up 4 home runs this year in 38 innings, had a 4.74 ERA. He did get lit up a couple of times. He got lit up by Toronto in his first start of the year, but after the long layoff, you can't really count that. Other than that, he has not given up more than 3 innings, but he also hasn't gone more than 5 innings all year. He's a guy that will keep the ball down, so you've got to make him elevate the ball. You can't be hacking at curveballs and trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. You've got to make him come to you. You've got to make him get that ball up. And if not, if he's going to throw it down in the dirt, just let him bounce it. and get your guys on base, let them get that pitch count up, and then work on the Rays' middle relief. So the Yankees, the key to beating Charlie Morton is going to be patient and to make him throw the ball over the plate. Make him preferably throw something straight over the plate. But we've seen that Charlie Morton in the past is not afraid to just throw curveball after curveball after curveball. And if he's throwing it for strikes, then he can be a real problem. The last time that he pitched was September 25th. That was against Philly. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. So, I mean, how many days ago was that? That was like 2 weeks ago. So he might not be sharp. Curveballs are tough to throw, when you're on extended rest because you're a bit too strong. You can bury it in the dirt. It's a feel pitch. So I'd imagine he's been throwing on the side. So we'll just see how it works out. But I do like the Yankees' chances tonight against Charlie Morton. I think Tanaka's going to show up and have a big outing. And if not, the Yankees are just going to have to win Game 4 and force a Game 5. You don't want to get into that position. You'd like to win it in 4 so that way you can have Garrett Cole going in the first game of the next series, probably against the Houston Astros, who've won their first 2 games against the A's. We'll see how it works out, but the Yankees need to play a bit better than they did last night if they want to go up 2-1.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps YouTube suggest this channel to other Yankees fans.